This police vehicle that you see on the left-hand side of your screen is about to be stopped by another officer for speeding after a very dangerous high-speed chase. And then once he is actually stopped, there will be a very heated exchange of words between the two officers that I think is extremely ridiculous, but we'll see what happens. Hello, this is Jason Matthews. I'm a recently retired law enforcement officer. I was also a use of force instructor and a taser instructor during my career. And in this video, I'm going to be commenting on this public domain video that was released out of Florida. I'll be giving you my perspective based on my training and experience and providing you some information that the general public doesn't know about law enforcement. Stay to the end to watch the full video without commentary. But before we get started, if you support the police, click the like button. And if you do not support the police, click the dislike button. It's anonymous, and I'm just curious of where you stand. Okay, let's get started here and watch this very tense high-speed chase. One officer is pursuing another officer in a police vehicle. Yes, you heard me right. One officer is going to stop another officer after a high-speed pursuit.
Over 100 miles an hour trying to catch up with this butt here.
Did you hear what he said? He said over 100 miles an hour trying to catch up with this other officer. So this is extremely dangerous. They're on a 2-lane road going more than 100 miles an hour, and cars could be coming out of driveways, kids could be walking the road. So this is extremely dangerous.
He's the guy that,
As you saw, they just passed through a stop sign, and the officer slowed down at the stop sign. And the reason is there could be oncoming traffic, and that officer wants to make sure that there wouldn't be an accident between him and other vehicles. But just in case you didn't know, officers are allowed to violate traffic law while they are pursuing a suspect. That officer just crossed over a double yellow line in the middle of the road, which is not legal. Now, he could have several excuses I can see here. One excuse might be, well, the car in front of him would not get out of the way, and he's trying to pull over for this other officer. Because at this point, I'm going to assume that this police officer that is being pursued does not know whether this officer either wants to get around him or is trying to stop him. It's not very common for one officer to attempt to stop another officer. One officer could conclude that if they saw a police vehicle going at a high rate of speed, they're probably going to interdict someone in a crime. So they could be pursuing someone who is violating some type of law, either the speed limit or whatever the case may be. One misconception of the public is that law enforcement does not necessarily have to turn on their overhead lights or siren if they're pursuing someone. And a reason why they may not have to do that is because that would alert a suspect that the police are behind them. And so if an officer is trying to sneak up on a suspect, they may not put on their overhead lights or siren. However, At this point, this officer should either pull over and let this other officer by if he believes he's in pursuit of another vehicle, or stop and talk to the officer.
Copy down that bumper.
As you see, he has not pulled over, and it appears to me that he's flashing his siren lights, his overhead lights, his lights in general. We could call them his red and blue lights. And it appears that if I was this officer who's pursuing the other officer in front of me, I would take that of what he's doing right now, flashing his lights, as he's signaling to me that I am law enforcement. Disregard pulling me over. He's trying to convey, in my opinion, to the other officer, I am law enforcement. I'm okay. You don't need to pull me over.
This one or this one?
Yeah, 11070. Pull over. You going to pull over?
Please say a command.
Pull over.
So now we are going to get into an interaction between the two officers, which is going to be very heated. But before that, this officer is stopping in the middle of the road. And if it was me, I would have pulled over behind the officer just to let traffic by. So there's an open space in the middle of the road. However, I understand he's pulling up to the window of this officer so that he can talk to him. And in this case, yell at him. And I understand this officer. I understand the officer that is pulling over the other officer. He's upset. And that is because, like I said in the very beginning of the video, this is very dangerous. This is a very dangerous situation.
Three 113 to 313.
What? I am going into work, my man. Why are you trying to pull me over as I'm going into work?
Because you're going 80 and a 45.
I am going into work.
Okay, where are you going
what
to
work? What does it look
for?
like I'm dressed for?
I'm going into work. So he's saying right now that he was not pursuing a suspect. He's just saying he's going into work. Some officers have take-home vehicles, so they would be going into work directly from home, or he could be going to the police station to go to work, or could be going to training. That's a possibility. In any case, unless he is pursuing a suspect, there is no excuse for him going that rate of speed. And if you believe that there's another reason why he could be going at a high rate of speed, please comment down below and let me know. I could have missed something. There could be something I'm not thinking about of why he would be going at a high rate of speed legally. So comment down below if you have any ideas.
What does it look like I'm dressed for?
My name is Deputy Hilton, and they see your driver's license.
No.
Okay.
So this officer has made a legal stop, and he's asking for his driver's license. And in most states, it is mandatory that if you are legally stopped by another officer, including other officers, they are required to give a driver's license if they are asked for such identification and they are driving a motor vehicle.
Okay. 3113, copy at 1050. 10-4, I got a city, Orlando PD taking off from a traffic stop.
One thing that is complicated when you're pulling over another state vehicle, for example, or a city vehicle that is an official vehicle, in some states and some jurisdictions, you cannot actually run that license plate through normal channels. So in other words, if you stop a government type vehicle and you attempt to run the plates through your dispatch, like any other vehicle, it will come back as no record on file because it's a government plate. So just from what I'm hearing right now, that's the complication he's having. It appears that he's attempting to relay the plate information of this vehicle, but it's complicated because now that he sees it, he's probably thinking it's not going to come back as record. And now it appears this officer is taking off on a second officer. See, he's not staying at the site of the vehicle stop, which is a violation of law.
It's going to be X-ray Foxtrot 6207, XF 6207. Refuse to stop.
www.syncmyride.
I have never been in this exact situation before, and probably very few officers have also. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one, hopefully there are not officers driving at this high rate of speed in jurisdictions across the United States. And number two, that was a critical decision that the pursuing officer had to make. So what probably went through his mind before he decided to start pursuing this vehicle is, what are the consequences here? Not only what are the consequences to the public, because as I said in the beginning, if you're pursuing someone at a high rate of speed, bad things can happen. And so you're putting at risk both officers and members of the public. So you have to weigh the benefits versus the negatives. And then also, generally speaking, like I said during the video, the officer might believe that this officer driving at a high rate of speed is going to pursue a suspect. So what the officer could do in that case is call into his dispatch instead of pursuing the suspect and asking over his dispatch if they can contact law enforcement agencies in the area and see if there is a pursuit going on of a suspect. And then he should be able to get an answer from an agency. However, the problem with that is by the time he gets that answer, which could take some time, this vehicle will be long gone and you will have no idea who this person is. So this is a very complicated situation here. Another problem is he could possibly get in trouble with his agency for pursuing this vehicle because of, like I said, the danger involved here. He could be lectured or disciplined possibly for making a poor decision in that pursuing a vehicle dangerously, another law enforcement agency, and he may have been told or could have been told hypothetically that he should have just let the officer go. It's not worth the possible downsides of the pursuit and the danger of the pursuit. Okay, before I play the full video without commentary, if you enjoyed this video, click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to be notified when new videos are released. Share this video with family and friends to help improve their understanding of law enforcement actions as well. Together, we can achieve the goal of understanding and public awareness of police protocol and procedures. Take care and have a great day.
copy down that bumper number.
This one or this one?
Yeah, 11070. Pull over. You going to pull over?
Please say a command.
Pull over. Three 113 to 313.
What?
Do you?
I am going into work, my man. Why are you trying to pull me over as I'm going?
Because you're
work?
going 80 and a 45.
I am going into work.
Okay, what are you going
What
to
does
work
it look
for?
like I am dressed for?
What
does it look like I am dressed for?
My name is Deputy Hilton. I need to see your driver's license.
No.
Okay. 3113, copy at 1050. 10-4, I got a city, Orlando PD taking off from a traffic stop. It's going to be X-ray Foxtrot 6207, XF 6207. Refuse to stop.
www.syncmyro